These glasses were actually considered racy for their time, but nowadays people find vintage pinups to be glamorous and nostalgic. There's a growing market for burlesque collectibles, so this could be a really good item for the shop.
So what exactly is this?
This is an original Nepalese bira gun.
I can honestly say I've never actually seen one of these, but it's pretty amazing.
I think there are probably less than 25 around.
We open with Chum's brilliant marketing idea, a billboard. Corey suggests going viral instead, like Grumpy Cat. Chum's immediate enthusiasm is hilarious. He then asks if he can take Rick's picture for the Grumpy Cat meme. The other employee deadpans, "You just take any photo of him and it would be grumpy." This is peak Pawn Stars banter. It perfectly sets up the episode's lighter tone before the historical items come in.
So Corey, were you checking to see how much it would be to get a billboard on I-15 coming into town? I think it's good advertisement for the shop.
Really, a billboard?
Well, people use them, so they obviously work for some people.
Why don't you go viral? That's the best way to get new customers. Everyone's doing it.
Why would the pawn shop want to be sick?
First customer has a limited edition vellum sculpture by actor Anthony Quinn called The Child. Rick thinks it's cool but weird. Joking, he thought it'd be called The Owl. The customer bought it in Hawaii and points out it's 22 out of 95. Rick respects Quinn's legacy as a tough guy actor. You can tell he's intrigued but out of his depth with art. The call for an expert is coming. I love these niche items.
How you doing? I got a limited edition vellum sculpture by Anthony Quinn.
That's actually pretty cool, but is there like a title to this?
The name is called The Child.
Okay, I thought it was gonna be called The Owl.
New customer with a 1930s Gottlieb penny arcade grip tester. Rick loves it, imagining drunken guys testing their strength. The seller explains its history. Rick's concern is the rough condition. The seller proves it works with a penny. Rick squeezing it is a great visual. These old mechanical gadgets have so much character. You can see Rick's mind working on the restoration potential already. This is a fun, hands-on piece.
It's a 1930s penny arcade strength tester.
Are you strong or weak? Test your grip, which immediately says to a bunch of drunken guys in a bar that we need 100 pennies right away.
Exactly.
The negotiation for the grip tester. The seller wants $2 grand. Rick counters with a brutal $400, citing the needed TLC. They haggle, with the seller saying $700 is his best. Rick replies, which means you could do $6. They finally settle on $600. That's the pawn shop dance. Rick gets a cool project, and the seller gets cash. It's a fair deal for a piece needing major work.
Okay, so this is, it's pretty neat. How much you want for it?
I was thinking like $2 grand.
Ooh, it's a little out of the ballpark.
Okay, what were you thinking?
Okay, I'm thinking closer to $400.
Oof.
Take $500 for it?
I could do 7 is the best I can do.
Art expert Brett is here for the Anthony Quinn piece. He explains Quinn was an artist first, and this is a relief sculpture made with a mold and paper. Rick's concern was it being paper mache, but Brett says it's indicative of his desired work. The seller is relieved to hear this validation. Brett's knowledge turns a weird object into a legitimate art piece with context. This is why the experts are essential.
In a lot of great books.
Yeah, he was kind of always the man's man.
Yeah, he was always a badass. He's definitely always a badass.
Very cool. One of the great late American actors, and a pretty terrific artist too.
Brett gives the value. Similar works go for $3,000 to $4,000. The seller wanted $5,500, so this is a reality check. Brett calls it a nice work and says Quinn will be revered for his art too. Now it's negotiation time. The seller is prepared, rolling up his sleeve metaphorically. You can tell he's a serious collector who did his homework. This won't be an easy buy for Rick.
You know, it is out of 95, which, you know, doesn't sound like a lot, but that still means there's 95 identical copies of this floating around out there. I can find work from this series out there in the...
That's good to know.
You're the best, man.
Hey, Rick. Yeah, always a pleasure.
The Quinn negotiation. The seller asks for $3,000. Rick says no money in it for him at that price, offering $2 grand. They meet at $2,100. The seller says he won't let a deal go for $100. He got what he wanted with a game plan. Rick gets a legitimate art piece. It's a smart, calm deal from both sides. No drama, just business between people who know value.
It's a nice, beautiful frame. How about $3,000?
No, I mean, there's no money in it for me at $3,000.
What do you think?
It's neat. I think it'll sell. $2 grand.
I'm not gonna let a deal go for $100, so
okay,
let's do it.
Thanks.
Restoration expert Bob examines the grip tester. He notes it's an early model built to last in the USA. Rick asks the big question, cost to restore with a wow factor? Bob estimates between $600 and $700. That's almost what Rick paid for the machine itself. This is the risky part of flipping. Will the investment pay off? But Rick's excitement suggests he might just keep it for himself.
When they built stuff like this, it was built in the good old USA. The Gottlieb 1-cent test-a-grip was a trade simulator. They'd put it in bars, they'd put it in markets, and people would try their grip, but it was to get people in the store and to spend money.
New item, a fireman's badge from New York. The story is wild. It was found in letters from an affair the seller's friend's grandma had with a fireman. Chum's reaction: Pete's grandma was a little bit of a rolling stone, is golden. The badge is over 150 years old. The seller thinks it's valuable. Corey is interested, but needs an expert to date it. The salacious backstory alone adds so much character.
So you don't sound like you're from New York, my man. Where'd you get it?
I got it from a buddy of mine named Pete. It's kind of got an interesting story about it. His great-grandmother just recently passed away, and they found a box.
Bob reveals the restored grip tester, and Rick's reaction is priceless. Whoa, that looks amazing. Bob details the complete restoration, new graphics, nickel plating. It looks brand new. Rick tests it, using 2 hands as a warm-up. The transformation is incredible. You can see why Rick loves this job. It's about preserving history. Bob's pride in his work is awesome. This is the satisfying payoff to the earlier purchase.
And you really don't want it, I'll be glad to take it back from you.
Whoa, that looks amazing. That came out better than I even imagined.
Took it all apart. We redid all the graphics. I polished out the old color to make sure this was the right color exact.
The budget talk. Rick nervously asks if they stayed at $600. Bob says he'll do $680 to not hit 7. Rick admits he could get over $2,000 but decides to keep it because it's badass. Bob feels great it's being kept. This is a heartwarming moment between craftsman and client. Rick often sells, but some pieces are just too cool to let go.
No, I said between 6 and 7. So I don't want to hit 7, then you'll get insulted. So we'll push it down to 680.
Okay, 680. I mean, if I did sell it, I could get over $2,000. You know, there's a lot of things that come in here, and a lot of things I want to keep. This thing I'm gonna keep.
Expert Mark researches the fire badge. He identifies it as belonging to a bachelor fireman named Thomas McCain from 1865. That's incredible detective work. The badge is real and original. This history lesson is why the show rocks. A simple badge becomes a personal artifact from the 1860s. Mark's passion for history is contagious. It gives the item a soul beyond just metal.
It is a huge fire department, has a history that goes back to New Amsterdam, to the 1640s. The company, the 51 refers to the Relief Hose Company. It was a particular volunteer fire department, and I called a friend of mine who's...
The badge negotiation is brutal. The seller wants $500. Corey offers $150, citing that many were saved. The seller pushes for at least $300. Corey lands at $200, his final offer. The seller accepts, planning to do something great in Vegas with the money. It's a classic pawn moment. Huge historical significance doesn't always mean huge cash. The seller's pragmatic attitude is actually refreshing.
Even with all that great history behind it, I'd offer you about $150, man.
So why do you think it's only worth $150? I mean, this is the New York Fire Department. It's a big deal.
There's just a lot of them out there, man. No one ever threw away Grandpa's fire department badge. No one ever threw away Grandpa's police badge.
Right.
They've all been passed down.
The prank finale. Chum tried to go viral with meme photos. Rick and the old man revealed they made their own memes mocking Chum. I don't always work at the pawn shop, but when I do, I'm usually taking a nap. Chum is furious, calling them not funny. They reveal it was all a joke. They never posted them. Chum gullibility is legendary. It's the perfect lighthearted end to a fun episode.
So, how many likes? Is it spreading around the internet?
Yeah, I got 13 likes so far.
13 likes.
It's on its way.
All right. Well, we took your advice, do some social media marketing.
The episode opens with Rick looking at a saddle claimed from Dances with Wolves. Then a customer shows a tattoo set. An 1886 Winchester rifle is also mentioned as the gun that won the West. Rick's intro highlights the unpredictable items. I'm excited. This mix of Hollywood tattoos and Old West guns promises chaos. The title, Tattoos and Tantrums fits perfectly. It's a classic Pawn Stars blend of history and personal drama.
What do we got here?
Saddle that was used by Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves.
This saddle is from Dances with Wolves. It could be worth big money. I mean, big money.
Look, this is not my tattoo set. You got everything that you need to start.
A customer presents a saddle he says Kevin Costner used in Dances with Wolves. He's a big fan and bought it at auction. Rick asks for paperwork. The customer only has a card and pictures. The customer insists the auction house assured him it was real. I'm skeptical. Rick's right to be cautious. Provenance is everything for movie props. This could be a huge score or a total bust.
Saddle, it was used by Kevin Costner in Dances with Wolves.
All right.
There's got to be a lot of women who'll pay a lot of money for something that's touched Kevin Costner's hind end. Pawn shop today, I'm going to try and sell my saddle. Hey, I'm not a cowboy, I don't ride horses, but I'm a big fan of Kevin Costner.
Rick examines the saddle, noting it looks like a U.S. military-issued saddle from between the Civil War and WWII. He says it could be old and valuable, regardless of the movie claim. Hollywood prop houses often used original items. Rick wants an expert to check both its military authenticity and film connection. I appreciate his dual-angle analysis. This saddle has two potential value streams. Smart move to call an expert.
What interests me right now is this could have been used in the movie, but this might have been sitting in a prop house for the past 100 years.
Hollywood prop houses are massive warehouses, and they often made props out of original items. I don't know if this thing was in Dances with Wolves.
A customer brings in an 1886 Winchester rifle, a gift from his father-in-law who once threatened him with it. He wants to sell it. Rick explains it's the model 1886, the gun that won the West. He details its .45-90 caliber and repeating mechanism. I love Rick's historical knowledge. The personal backstory is hilarious. Selling the threat itself. This gun is a piece of American engineering history. Rick clearly wants it.
To try to sell my 1886 Winchester rifle. My father-in-law threatened me with it when I started dating his daughter, and now since we've been married for so many years, he actually gave it to me, and I told him the first thing I was going to do is sell it.
Rick points out damage, hammer marks where the magazine was beaten back in. He says a perfect one is worth $10,000, but this is worth $2,500 to $3,000. He offers $1,500. The customer is thrilled, thinking it was only worth a couple hundred. They shake on $1,500. I react to the customer's surprise and Rick's honest appraisal. It's a fair deal that makes both parties happy. A solid gun buy for the shop.
Of his time. Just everything about it was just unbelievable.
This is a classic American rifle. There's no way to describe how a Winchester feels in your hand. Do I want this gun? Yes.
Do you want to pawn it or sell it? I want to sell it. I mean, it's a nice gun. I mean, in perfect shape, it's worth 10 grand.
A customer shows a complete tattoo set with liners, shaders, inks, and a pressure sanitizer he calls a pot roast cooker. He wanted to be a tattoo artist but gave up. Chum is interested, having $6,000 worth of ink himself. The customer wants $400. Chum offers $300. I laugh at the sanitizer comment. Tattooing is big in Vegas, so this is a practical buy. The negotiation is straightforward, typical for used equipment.
What's up?
This guy's going to tattoo your face.
This guy's gonna tattoo my face. You don't want to mess up this circle of beauty.
I'm coming into a pawn shop today to try and sell my tattoo set. I wanted to be a tattoo artist.
The tattoo customer offers an extra $50 if Chum can draw a good portrait of him and the seller. Chum accepts the challenge. He draws a picture giving the seller angel wings. The customer loves it, saying it's worth the extra $50. They close the deal at $350. I find this hilarious. Bartering with art. Chum's drawing skills seal the deal. It's a creative and personal twist to a pawn transaction.
Big Hoss, if he draws a portrait of us, give him an extra 50.
If it's good, I will.
Think he can draw a portrait of us?
Yeah, I can do that.
Let's see what you got. $50 if you can make a good portrait.
Expert Mark examines the saddle. He identifies it as a McClellan military saddle from 1859, but notes the small 12-inch seat and lack of leather covering, suggesting it's a pack saddle, not for riding. He definitively says it was not in Dances with Wolves, as all saddles in the film had black leather. I'm impressed by his detailed analysis. The movie dream is dead, but the military history remains. The value plummets.
My name is Mark, and I'm an expert in Western memorabilia. What I love about Western memorabilia is part of the history of our country and American culture. Well, it's definitely a military saddle. It's a McClellan saddle, developed in 1859 before the Civil War.
Mark values the saddle at $400 to $500 in its condition, missing parts, and uncovered. Rick thanks him. After Mark leaves, Rick negotiates with the customer, who still believes it's authentic. The customer wants $750. Rick offers $250. They settle at $300. The customer's wife will be disappointed she wasn't close to Kevin Costner. I react to the harsh reality check. The expert opinion crushed the value, but Rick still got a historic piece.
So what do you think this thing is worth?
Well, if it was a formal McClellan military saddle and had the full cover on it and everything, they're selling for around $1,000.
Okay.
But in this condition, missing some of the parts and not covered, I'd say...
The old man asks where Corey is. Rick and Chum cover for him, but the old man finds out Corey went to get a tattoo during work hours. He's furious, yelling, "On my damn time?" He demands Corey pay $500 for the tattoo guns and work overtime. I laugh at the old man's rage. Corey's side adventure triggers a classic workplace tantrum. The family business dynamics are always entertaining.
I have no idea. Chum, where's Corey at?
I don't know, man.
Chumlee, are you lying to me? Where in the is he? Please. You want to get paid?
He's out getting a tattoo.
Corey returns, and the old man confronts him about the tattoo. Corey reveals the tattoo guns cost $350. The old man enforces company policy, making Corey pay $500 for them and work 3 hours overtime. Corey argues, but the old man is firm. I react to the strict punishment. The old man runs a tight ship, and Corey's midday tattoo escapade is a clear violation. The generational clash is real.
You know where the he's been.
Getting a tattoo, obviously.
What'd you rat me out? I didn't say anything.
So how much did that cost?
Some tattoo guns. How much did you pay for the tattoo gun?
$350.
Well, yours $500.
Rick reveals the old man has a tattoo from 1959 in Japan, spelling Rick's mom's name wrong because he was drunk. The old man admits he was a little inebriated. I crack up at this hypocrisy. The old man gives Corey crap, but has a misspelled tattoo himself. It's a hilarious family secret.
You give me all kinds of crap for mine. I can't believe you have one.
You two are like two circus.
It looks good.
Let's hear about your tattoo.
This is not about me. This is about you.
Here's what happened. It's 1959. He's in Japan.
Rick takes the 1886 Winchester to the range with expert Tony. Tony praises it as John Browning's first high-pressure design, calling Browning a genius. They shoot it, and it packs a powerful punch. Rick enjoys testing it for fun. I love this segment, seeing history in action. The gun's power is palpable. It's a satisfying end after the day's dramas, connecting back to the tangible history they deal in.
4590. 4590. Big guy. The big gun. Very nice. Let me take a look at this bad. Hi, I'm Tony, and I'm the armorer here at the gun store, and I'm the old gun guy. Anything comes in here that's old and unusual, they drag me out of the back room and we talk about it.
The episode opens with Rick and the old man smelling something foul. The old man asks, "What in the hell?" They discover it's Corey's dog, and the old man demands a pooper scooper. This chaotic pet subplot is a hilarious setup for a dog day afternoon. The shop is already a zoo, and adding an untrained dog is a recipe for disaster. Classic Pawn Stars family dysfunction begins immediately.
Hey, Rick, you smell that?
Yeah, it smells like
Where's it coming from?
What in the hell? That's Corey's dog.
A customer brings a letter from Senator John F. Kennedy, dated January 13th, 1961, thanking his dad for a wood carving. The carving portrayed JFK's TV stance during the 1960 debate with Nixon. The customer wants $2,500, minimum $1,500. Rick reads the touching letter. This seems like a slam dunk historical item. The personal connection and presidential association usually mean big money, but Rick's skepticism is already brewing.
This is a letter from President John F. Kennedy sent to my dad, thanking him for the wood carving that he carved, portraying John F. Kennedy during the 1960 debates with Richard Nixon.
Okay. In this case, it's from Senator Kennedy because it's dated January 13th.
Rick expresses his wish for the original carving, but the signed letter is still great. Then he drops the bomb. Due to the date, right before inauguration, most signatures from that period are auto pen, machine-made, and worthless. He examines the signature, showing how a real pen wisps off the paper. This is even and doesn't. His verdict, this is auto pen. The customer's disappointment is palpable. A family heirloom just lost its monetary value.
I wish he had the original carving, but a signed letter from JFK is almost as good. So have you ever had this checked out?
No.
Okay. You have to realize this is January 13th, 1961. In 1 week, he's going to be president of the United States. Pretty busy guy at this moment.
The dog subplot continues. Corey is in LA, leaving his dog Skiba with Chum. Chum lets her run loose because he doesn't want her pooping at his house. Rick and the old man are furious. Chum, however, thinks the dog is great for morale and declares her the shop mascot. The old man's line, "It's bad enough we let Chumlee run around with no leash," is absolute gold. The chaos is just beginning.
Corey went to LA to check out some stuff for the shop, and he must have left his dog Skiba with Chum. Chum's the only one irresponsible enough to let the dog run around the pawn shop on its own.
Hey, Skiba.
Why is Corey's dog here?
He asked me to watch her. He didn't have enough time to feed her and walk her and leave for LA all at the same time.
New customer with a hero sword used by John Wayne in Rio Grande. He's a huge fan and a Marine Corps vet. He wants $12,000, no less than $10,000. He got it from Western Costume Company with a certificate. Rick is intrigued, but notes it's been gold-plated, which the cavalry wouldn't do. The prop angle makes sense. This could be a massive score if real. The excitement for the expert call is building.
We've got a hero sword here for you.
A hero sword?
Yes, it was used by John Wayne in Rio Grande.
Hey, John Wayne, your guy.
Yeah, he was a hell of an actor.
I think they went to the same high school.
I was hoping to get around $12,000 for it, and I probably would take no less than 10.
Rick decides to call in the ultimate expert, John Wayne's son, Ethan Wayne. The customer is confident his COA will prove it's real and is excited to meet Ethan. This is a next-level authentication. Having the actual son of the legend come in is a huge get for the show. The stage is set for a definitive yes or no. No middle ground on this one.
So I called a guy who knows a thing or two about John Wayne, his son, Ethan Wayne.
What do you got here? 3 cavalry films that my father made with John Ford directing. John Ford really responsible for his start as a major player in the movie business.
Cut to Corey in LA, skipping work. He reveals he lied about business. He's actually taking delivery of a custom-built Harley-Davidson knucklehead from the LA speed shop. He's in awe of the handmade Art Deco motor and flawless paint. This is Corey's dream bike. The builder says he never makes the same parts twice. It's a stunning piece of machinery. Of course, Corey's day off is about to go wrong.
Wanna check this out?
Let's check it out, dude.
I own the LA Speed Shop, specialize in custom Harley-Davidson.
There she is, man.
You happy?
Oh, I'm stoked about it, dude.
Disaster Sturks. Within 5 minutes, Corey drops the brand new bike. The builder checks the damage. Scratched paint, a bent foot control, and a bent grip. Corey is in shock, saying he didn't know whether to cry or laugh. The builder tries to be cool, saying it adds character. This is the most relatable, painful moment ever. That sickening feeling of damaging your new prized possession is universal.
I'm stoked to get on it and actually go for a ride. No. Are you serious?
Is it good?
A little bit of bending. Are you kidding me? This is story of my life.
Ethan Wayne arrives to examine the sword. He shares amazing background. His dad was a prop man first, studied other actors to build his iconic walk and persona. He represented America worldwide. This history lesson is fantastic, but he's cautious, saying swords were often in a big bin for everyone. The specific marking is key. The focus shifts to the certificate from Western costume. The suspense is killing me.
His films were in the Middle East and in India and in Asia and all these places, and so he represented the United States of America to a large portion of the world before we were so connected. You know, these things would typically be in a big bin and everybody sort of wore the same thing.
Ethan calls the KOA signer, Eddie. The verdict is devastating. Eddie confirms his signature is real, but the Western costume stamp underneath was never on any KOA he signed. It was cut from a contract. The document is a fake cut and paste. Therefore, the proof isn't conclusive. The sword's connection to John Wayne is shattered. The customer is crushed, revealing he has 5 more swords with the same fake COA.
Ethan, after looking through the certificate of authenticity, that stamp of seller Western costume and my signature, it's definitely my signature. That stamp at the bottom was never put on any certificate of authenticity that I actually signed.
The customer is utterly devastated, calling it one of his prized possessions. He's glad he found out, but really sad. Rick explains forgers will do anything. They pass on the sword. This is the harsh truth of collectibles. A compelling story and paperwork aren't enough. The emotional letdown for this superfan is hard to watch. The show excels at these real, sobering moments.
Forgers will do anything to get one over on a prospective buyer. This certificate has the right signature, but it's still a fake. That's why it always pays off to bring in an expert.
Back to the dog drama. Rick calls Corey, furious that Skiba ate the old man's lunch. Rick yells, "Your dog ate his lunch." Corey, pretending to lose signal in a tunnel, reluctantly agrees to pick up replacement food. Rick sees through the lie. This B-story payoff is perfectly timed comic relief after the intense sword letdown.
Corey's dog ate the old man's sandwich, and I know how he gets when he doesn't have lunch. Corey's got to take care of this one right now.
Hey, what's up?
When are you going to get back? Skiba is terrorizing my shop.
I'm on my way back now. My battery's about to die. I gotta go.
Pick up the old man some food because
I'm going through the tunnel. I can't hear you.
A returning customer brings a Civil War-era urethral syringe for treating syphilis and gonorrhea. Rick and Chum are horrified. She's a medical professional tired of looking at it. Rick discusses how STDs plagued 30% of troops. The description of its use is utterly cringeworthy. She wants $300. Rick, creeped out, offers $160 just to get it out of her house. She accepts, happy to buy something not used in a urethra.
During the Civil War, the treatments for venereal disease were downright medieval minuscule compared to what they do today. But hey, they had to try something. An army is not effective when all the men are sick. How much do you want for it?
I probably would like to sell for about $300.
In a sweet final moment, Rick is left alone dog-sitting. He admits Skiba is pretty damn cute and not bad company, telling her they might keep her if she stops pooping everywhere. It's a quiet, funny end to a chaotic episode filled with fakes, disasters, and ancient medical nightmares. The dog, the source of the mess, might just win over the grumpy boss after all.
Corey's still MIA, the old man's passed out, and I'm stuck all alone dog sitting. But to tell you the truth, she's not really bad company.
The cold open teases a trip to Hollywood and a massive auction with huge risk. Rick says it could be a real payday, or he could lose my ass on all of it. The intro then plays. This setup is brilliant. We know Rick is taking a major gamble, which is the core of Rick's roulette. The stakes feel higher than a normal shop deal. The auction atmosphere is a whole different game.
This trip is all about making money, so what better place to do it than Hollywood?
Welcome to Beverly Hills.
I dig it.
Back in the 70s, I worked on the Sonny and Cher show.
So huge in the 70s.
A customer brings in Spanish dips, old mining dowsing rods used to find gold, inherited from his great-grandfather. He wants $1,200, but admits he just pulled that number from the air. Rick explains their history and offers $500. The customer counters at $900, then $800. Rick holds firm at $600, saying hardly anyone knows what they are. The customer declines due to sentimental value. It's a classic case of personal worth versus market value.
What are these right here?
These are mining tools that I got from my great-grandfather.
Okay, are those things loaded?
They are. Loaded with gold. I know he did find some gold. He found this gold ring, but I'm not sure how he found it.
Rick is packing rare items to send to an LA auction house, explaining his local clients aren't looking for this niche stuff. Chum volunteers to drive, but Rick shuts him down hard, saying, "I am not spending more than a couple hours with you." The old man volunteers to run the shop, and Rick yells, "No, nothing is not going to happen." The chaotic family dynamic over logistics is pure comedy. Chum's dejected, "Screw you guys, I'm going for a walk," is perfect.
I need it all boxed up, and I need to send to LA.
What are we sending to LA for?
I'm going to be in LA selling a bunch of stuff in an auction. The people who come into my shop every day aren't necessarily looking for a pen used by Lyndon Baines Johnson or a 1917 Indian motorcycle.
Rick arrives at Julian's auction house in Beverly Hills. The rep shows him his displayed items, including a NASA helmet and a Lyndon Johnson pen. Rick calls it a trip down memory lane, having forgotten some pieces. This moment shows the scale of his collection. He's gambling on a worldwide audience to get top dollar for these iconic items. The glitzy auction setting is a far cry from the pawn shop's back room.
Hey, Rick. Welcome to Beverly Hills. How's it going?
Doing great, man.
Good. We've got the exhibition set up here. Your stuff's in the back.
My stuff's going to sell for a lot of money, right? There's always a big risk putting stuff in an auction. You never know exactly what you're going to get. But Julian's is a really big auction house. They advertise a lot. They're well known. So fingers crossed.
Rick spots a Sonny and Cher autograph set and asks to buy it before the auction. He meets the consignor, Sam, who worked on the Sonny and Cher show doing cue cards in the 70s. Sam says they weren't even speaking during their divorce but would still perform. He wants $550. The insider story is gold. Rick's eyes light up. He knows he has a customer who's a freak over Cher items. This is a targeted flip.
Is there any way I could maybe talk to the owner and buy it before the auction?
We don't like to do that because we have people flying into the auction.
Yeah, but most people don't put hundreds of things in your auction.
Hey, Sam, do you have a minute?
This guy's got some sign sheet music and an autographed picture of Cher. So I think it might work out for him and me if he just sells it to me now.
Corey and Chum are in the desert checking out an Ultra 4 rock crawler race car. The builder explains it's a hybrid for desert racing and rock crawling with a top speed of 100 miles per hour. He needs to sell it to fund a new build. They take it for a wild ride. Corey is instantly hooked, seeing both profit and fun potential. This is a massive, high-octane item that contrasts with the delicate Hollywood memorabilia.
All right, it's kind of like a hybrid between a trophy truck and a rock crawler, right?
Yep.
People have been driving rock crawlers around since the very first Jeep. There's just something about going where you're not supposed to be able to go.
To race Ultra 4 competitively, you better spend a lot of money and a lot of time. You can't have another hobby.
The negotiation for the race car. The seller wants $50,000. Corey offers $20,000. They haggle, with the seller asking if $42,000 works. Corey says $25,000 is his absolute limit. The seller finally agrees to $27,000 with the trailer included. Corey makes the deal. This is a huge, fast-paced purchase. You can tell Corey is thrilled. A big win for him, while his dad is away gambling on the auction.
I'll do 20.
Could you do 42?
25. That's my limit. That's the most I can spend on it.
I think we could get there. If I pull my lights, my nav, and my comm.
Nope. I'm taking it all. 25.
How about 27 and I throw in the trailer?
We can do that. All right, it's a deal.
Thanks.
All right.
Back in LA, Rick's autograph expert, Steve, verifies the Sonny and Cher signatures. He shows Cher's sloppy connected C and Sonny's stacked best wishes. Sonny Bono. They're legit. Steve values the set at about $350. Sam the seller is disappointed, having wanted $550. The expert note that if Cher had signed the I Got You Babe sheet music, it'd be worth far more. This is the reality check before the deal.
Sonny and Cher. I grew up with these guys. But it's weird, I always remember Sonny mostly from Love Boat. I don't know why. He was on there a bunch, wasn't he? Sonny and Cher, they were this great couple through the 60s, early 70s. They ended up breaking up. Sonny's career kind of went nowhere, then he got into politics, and then Cher went on to be this mega star.
Rick offers $250 based on the expert's appraisal. Sam counters at $475. Rick declines, saying they won't make a deal, and suggests Sam try the auction. Sam leaves, believing $350 is a low appraisal, and hoping the auction will do better. This is a smart pass by Rick, sticking to his numbers. It shows discipline, even when he wants the item. The auction gamble now applies to the seller too.
Thinking like 250.
No, I can't do that. Any Sonny and Cher fan would love it.
They probably would. But he bases his prices on stuff that's already out there. So,
right.
What's the best price you take for it?
$475.
Yeah, I don't think we're gonna make a deal. Doesn't sell at the auction. Give me a call though.
Rick visits Bernie, an ultimate Disney collector with a mind-blowing mouse house. Bernie shows pre-1935 merchandise, including a moving store display and Walt Disney's original business card from the Hyperion studio. Rick is in awe, calling it the most impressive collection he's ever seen. This segment is a collector's dream. The history is palpable. Rick is about to spend big on something special from this trove.
The Mouse House. That's all from the 1930s.
This has got to be like the most impressive collection I've ever seen in my life.
Thank you. I love Mickey Mouse. I've been collecting Mickey Mouse and Disney things since about 1968, before it was pop chic.
Bernie shows Rick 3 ultra-rare 1930s Old King Cole Store display figures made of delicate papier-mâché. Rick, a closet Disney freak, says he needs to have them. Bernie wants $35,000 for all 3. Rick negotiates him down to $32,500. Bernie says, "Congratulations, you made yourself a hell of a buy." Rick is giddy, saying people will come just to see these. A huge, passionate purchase amidst his risky auction venture.
They were made of papier-mâché, the world's most delicate material, and there are very few made and very few survive.
I want these store displays. I'm a closet Disney freak, and this is stuff that will never come my way again.
At the auction house, Rick is shown a 1930s rocket ship model used for the Flash Gordon serials. The owner says it's worth around $100,000. Rick is in love but suspicious it's too nice. He calls in his prop expert friend Jason. The thrill of a potential mega find is tempered by Rick's seasoned skepticism. This is the roulette part. Is this a winning ticket or a fantastic fake?
Darren is one of the owners here at Julian's Auction House, and quite frankly, I never thought there'd be so much stuff I want to buy. That is cool. I'm in heaven.
This is a rocket ship model that was used by the film studios for the Flash Gordon serials back in the 1930s.
The prop expert, Jason, points out fatal flaws. A typo on the Fox Films stamp and Universal Moving Pictures. A name changed years before Flash Gordon. He concludes it's a detailed modern replica. Rick passes. The consignor is defiant, insisting it's old. This is a brilliant fake bust. It underscores the danger in this high-stakes environment. Even experts at a top auction house can get fooled.
So Rick, what are your concerns about this piece?
This thing is incredibly built,
right?
And that's what scares the hell out of me. They didn't spend that much money on movie props back then because they didn't have to.
Right. There's a number of things that concern me about it. On the bottom, there's 2 stamps.
The auction begins. Rick is nervous, noting there aren't many people in the room, but thousands online. The first item, a circus banner, sells for just $500. Rick admits auctions are hard because you're not part of the negotiation. The tension builds. His big gamble is happening in real time, and the initial results are underwhelming. The fear of losing his ass is becoming palpable.
I'm taking a big risk by not selling them in my store, but here, Julian's, bring some big spenders. We'll see how it goes. A little bit nervous. So getting good prices today for everything?
The Star Trek stuff just really sold for crazy numbers. So hopefully it continues through your stuff.
The auction turns brutal. A first edition A Christmas Carol sells for only $7,500. Rick's prized Vic Flick Stratocaster guitar goes for $22,500. Far below hopes. A 1940 Indian motorcycle with sidecar sells for $11,000. Rick says quietly, "I'm getting my ass handed to me." This is the devastating payoff to the episode's premise. The roulette wheel landed on a massive loss. His stoic disappointment is hard to watch.
7,500, one of the greatest novels ever written. 7,500. I'm being honest when I tell you this is as good a buy on anything I've seen in my lifetime. 7,500 going once. Click now. Ought to be bringing 20 grand.
Rick returns to the shop. Corey asks how the auction went. Rick admits, "We got really brutalized, losing about $100,000. Chum proudly reveals he held his own auction at the shop, selling old stock at cost. Rick surprisingly likes the initiative. The irony is thick. Rick's fancy auction lost a fortune, while Chum's janky in-shop sale was productive. It's a hilarious, humbling end to Rick's risky venture.
I had a little auction of my own.
What do you mean you had an auction? What'd you sell?
A bunch of stuff that's been sitting around here for years for cost.
I had a gavel and everything.
Well, I like the idea. This shows initiative. Why didn't you think of this?
Why didn't you think of this?
Because I don't like to sell stuff at cost.